Vancouver, British Columbia.
And this isn't a problem to be exposing all your weed?
Civil disobedience is a good thing.
I like that. I don't like Canadian bud, but yeah, I like it better than Amsterdam.
Why is Vancouver the capital of pot?
Everybody from around the world has come to Vancouver, and they're looking for opportunity, they're looking for change, they're looking for dynamic capabilities of change. So there's not a tradition to grasp onto here. So change happens more rapidly. So in a culture like this, where pot's being smoked by a large amount of the population for over 30 years, it's very accepted, it's very tolerated.
Yeah, pot permeates the air in Vancouver. The city is home to many of British Columbia's estimated 17,000 grow-ops, and BC Bud worth a cool $7 billion a year. Even Vancouver's right-wing think tank, the Fraser Institute, recently released a report that supports decriminalizing dope. No, we don't think they're a bunch of closet stoners. They just figure the government can get its hands on an extra $2 billion in taxes.
We're in the New Amsterdam Cafe. There's people smoking pot on the street just outside. They don't seem to care that what they're doing is actually illegal, and you can still get busted for it in this country. How is this possible?
Well, some people taking risks and pushing the envelope is how it happens. It doesn't come because of falling out of this heaven or because the politicians make these decrees. It comes from hardworking people like myself and Mark Emery and many others in this community who have really pushed the envelope forward. It was the same situation in Amsterdam. In Holland, the government didn't come forward first. People opened coffee shops in their living rooms and would sell pot under the table and different things, and places like this opened up where you could smoke your own, and they pushed it forward until they got a government in power that agreed with them. And in Vancouver, we have Mayor Larry Campbell, who in large part agrees with what we're doing here.
That is the rattiest looking piece of weed I've ever seen. This must come from Toronto, eh?
Mayor Larry Campbell. So, former RCMP drug squad officer, now the mayor of Vancouver. Why legalize marijuana?
My position would be the government would form a crown corporation and grow it. They would tax the living hell out of it, and all of those dollars would go into health care.
How do you feel about Vancouver's image as the pot capital of the world?
Doesn't bother me in the least. How do you feel about Amsterdam being known as the pot capital of Europe? I mean...
How do you feel about changing the name to Vansterdam?
No, I'd never do that. I mean,
you want to keep Vancouver?
That'd be silly, you know.
Have you thought about using the marijuana name, the fact that this is the pot capital, to lure more people? Come to Vancouver, get high.
No, I mean, it still is illegal, and for me to do that, I would be counseling an illegal act. I mean, I'm not condoning marijuana. I've never smoked it. I have no idea.
Never smoked?
Never smoked it.
In the here you are with the BC Bud. Why would you have never smoked?
Well, because I like red wine, and I'm afraid I might like marijuana more, and then what am I going to do?
That's why they call it a Royale with cheese. So, tell me again about weed in Canada.
See, weed wasn't always criminal. It's been around forever, and it used to be respectable.
No shit.
No shit. People been weaving with it since 8000 BC, writing about it since 2700 BC, and making paper out of it by the 1st century, and smoking it for just as long. Ancient Assyrians prescribed it for a treatment for sorrow and grief. The Hindus used it in religion. It was even prescribed as an aphrodisiac, man.
Damn, I dig that
I know, baby. You dig it the most. But you know what the funniest thing about ganja is?
What?
It's the little differences. A lot of the same we smoke, our ancestors used, but a little differently.
Examples?
Well, marijuana as a medicine was once so common, you could buy seeds, leaves, juice, and cannabis essence to treat shit like gout, inflammation, even alcoholism, man. By the mid-1500s, Queen Liz ordered her people to grow weed or face a 5-pound fine. By like 1609, a French pharmacist in Nova Scotia was the first to grow it in the New World. By the early 1800s, hash parlors were opening up for business in every major American city. It was legal to buy it, it was legal to own it, it was even legal to sell it, Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter? Oh, no, you didn't!
Sorry, flashback. Anyway, get low of this, right? In 1898, the Spanish-American War broke out, and this Pancho Villa cat seized 800,000 acres of Mexican land owned by American newspaper baron William Randolph Hearst. Hearst slams a 30-year propaganda campaign on Mexican Americans as dope heads. In 1915, California becomes the first American state to make it illegal to possess weed.
Damn!
By the 20s, pot was officially an underground drug. In 1954, possession for the purpose of trafficking was added to the Canadian law books. Maximum penalty, 14 years in prison. You had to kill a dude to go to jail for longer.
That reminds me, we got some work to finish off.
Yeah, in a minute. Okay, so the 60s and 70s saw an increase in recreational drug use, and the Canadian government eased up on pot prohibition until Reagan was elected. Man, Ron and Nancy's war on drugs saw more dudes locked up for dope than the total in prison at the time. And now, Canada's growing medical ganja and abandoned mine shafts and still waffling over decriminalization.
Man, that's some Hey, what do they call a quarter pounder in Canada?
I don't know. They got the metric system.
So Dominic, which of these hemp products will get us the most high?
None of them.
What?
Hey, man! Pass it over, man! You're hogging it! Hey, man, there you go. Oh, man, this hemp ice cream is great, man. No, it's not. I've been eating it all day, and I haven't gotten high at all. I keep eating more of it, man. Well, yeah, I've been eating these hemp bars, too, and I haven't caught one buzz. Well, I thought hemp was supposed to get you high. No, man, we got ripped off, man. Yeah, you know what? I met this guy. He told me, you ever need hemp, I'll hook you up. Okay, let's go, because we got to get some good hemp, man. All right, hold on, bro.
Hey Dominic, this is my bro Miro.
Good to meet you, man.
Can you show us some hemp?
I got all kinds of hemp.
Ooh, yeah, lots of hemp. Yeah, this is good.
Finished cosmetic stuff? Oh, don't forget clothes.
Ooh. Ew. So Dominic, which of these hemp products will get us the most high?
None of them.
What?
Sorry.
Some of your hemp products have the marijuana leaf on it. It equates to smoking pot to getting high. And we thought, just because it was on some of your products, that we would get high from those products. You don't think there's a confusion there?
No, it also equates to the valuable industrial benefits of the hemp plant as well.
You know what, Mio?
Yeah.
Let's go find out more about hemp.
Okay. What good is hemp if it doesn't get you high?
Hemp is great for a whole bunch of uses. Industrial hemp can be used for paper products, it can be used for clothing and textiles. There's all sorts of uses for hemp.
Why is hemp so environmentally friendly?
It's a product that can be grown sustainably. You can harvest a tree and then it takes 60, 80, 100 years for that tree to grow back, whereas hemp can be harvested annually.
A lot of your hemp products here in your store seem to be made by a company called Hempola.
Yeah, it's a farm. They've got fields full of hemp.
Do they have food too? Hemp food?
Hempola has the best hemp food.
You know what? This looks a whole lot like weed to me.
How does it differ from marijuana?
Well, it's the same plant, but the variety is different. So it's a variety that has very little THC.
It used to be illegal to grow it. What happened so that now you can grow it?
Well, we had our industrial hemp regulations become law in 1998. So Health Canada scribed those regulations, and now we have an industry.
What about the United States? Can you grow this stuff in the United States?
Still illegal.
It's still illegal, right?
And it's still fairly regulated here. You have to have a license to grow it through Health Canada.
Okay, let's go see what you guys do with this stuff after it's harvested.
Yeah, we'd like to free the weed.
This is a cold press. It's feeding whole hemp seeds into that unit, and oil's coming out and the seed can. You sell the oil on its own. It's a very nutritious oil.
And so after you've pressed the oil, you're left with what looks like goose shit, and this stuff is then milled into flour?
Right.
And what is the flour used
The
for?
flour is super high in protein, and a really, really good protein.
Do I have any poo in my teeth?
There's a little spot there.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, this looks good.
So you're supposed to eat them with your hands?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't argue with the facts. You have all this nutrition, you have no THC, there's really nothing to argue about. So we have to hammer home those messages.
And for the last time, all the hemp we're eating today, we're not going to get high. We're not even going to catch a buzz.
No.
Just a healthy high.